Are you looking for the best HDMI extender? We've got this one right here. Figured I'd show it off to you guys today. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy on up and see what we got. And if y'all find this video helpful, definitely appreciate you guys hooking up that helpful for me right there. So we got these two units right here. And then underneath you have all of your cords and whatnot that you're gonna need with some reading material there. Let's see, this says HDCP 1.4 compliant, video resolutions at 1080p at 60 hertz, 10.2 gigabits per second video bandwidth, signal transmission up to 165 feet at 4K 30 hertz over Cat 6 or 7 cable. It's an HDMI loop output to connect a display at the source. There's a one-way IR control, enabling control of the source from the receiver location. Power over cable technology only requires power adapter at the transmitter end, and compact design, easy installation. All right, let's see what we got in here. Let's first start with these little units right here. First of all, nice and small. I really appreciate the size of them. Look, this is it up against the palm of my hand right there. I can easily palm this thing. And of course it has the two slots up here on the side, so if you just wanted to mount this up somewhere, kind of get it out of the way, keep everything a little bit more organized, you can do that as well. So you have your HDMI out right here on this side, and on this side you have your Cat, just says Cat, so I don't know if that's back and forth. But it also shows the power adapter for it too, because you're getting power over Ethernet. And then you have your IR in right there. Taking a look at the other one. By the way, this one was the receiver. Then this one right here is going to be your transmitter. This is going to be your DC 12 volt input right there. You have your Cat line right there that's going to go in. You have your IR out right there. And then on the other end, you have your HDMI in and your HDMI out. And then there's the EDID with the RX-TX right there that you can switch between. So it's got this simple little toggle right there. Again, this one has that same mounting ability too, so you can easily mount this thing up. Look, just to give you guys an idea for size too of these things, I mean, they are super small. Just the unit is like 2¼ inches. If you add in the mounting brackets, you're looking at like 3 and what's that, 1/8 or so. And then the other end, you're looking at that, I'm gonna call that 2 3/4 right there, maybe just a shy hair of that, a shy small hair below that. But if you do include where the DC 12 volt input is, you can take that into consideration, and that brings you up just a little bit more past the 3.5, past the 3¼ inch right there. So, and then the depth of this thing too, it's not that deep at all. I mean, that's 1/2 inch maybe, no, 3/4, meh. 0.66, we'll go with that, 2/3 inch. So it's got a nice small profile, which I like. All right, so that's the two units right there. Now let's go ahead and see all of the cable action that they give. This is gonna be your IR right here, so that you can utilize that, which is the IR in for right there. So right here is your power supply, which goes in right here, I believe, yep, and then that simply twists up against that to make it nice and tight, so you can't lose that connection right there. Love that they've included that. This right here is going to be your adapter for your power port right here. You just simply pop that right on in like that. Take it out just like that if you need to utilize that. Very easy. We'll get into the cord lengths here in just a minute. And this right here is going to be your IR out. That's going to go into this one right there. So you do have to supply your own Ethernet cables and HDMI cables for this. This IR out cord That's a solid, I'm going to say 5 foot right there. And that's a good size to be able to get, because this little unit might be kind of hidden somewhere. You know, you might be putting it somewhere where it can't be seen. And this allows that IR to be able to get it. Comes with a little sticky back right there, so you can easily get that going. And then you have the IR in right here. I'm going to assume that this is probably the same size as the other one, but we'll go ahead and check it. Yep, that's a solid 5 foot, I'd say, right there. Last but not least, we have our power adapter here. Go ahead and take off this little wire nougat right here. Stretch that on out. I'm going to call that one about a 4 foot right there. Maybe just a hair bit longer than 4 foot. So you get a decent amount of cordage with all this right there. And then as I mentioned, you also get all of the instructions. I need to get this thing set up so I can see exactly how it performs. But just right out of the box, I can tell this is very nicely made. All metal through and through. It's got all the ports that you're going to want to be able to get this thing connected. And I really like the idea of running something via Ethernet to be able to get that HDMI going. I've actually never used something like that before, so I'm really curious to see how that's going to work out. So if y'all are looking for something like this, y'all definitely need to go and grab y'all one of these right here. Let me know if this was helpful. If it was, there's that helpful right there. Definitely appreciate you guys hooking that up for me. Y'all go and add this to your cart if this is something that you want. Thank you to these guys for sending this to me so I could show this off to y'all. And Dad out.